In this video, we'll be taking a look at the future analysis to get prepared for the week ahead. If you love the content, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're interested in learning to trade Forex like a professional, check out our complete Forex trading course on Udemy. I have the link attached in the description below as well. So without further ado, we'll be getting started with the gold chart on the 1 hour time frame. Last week we talked about the possibility of price taking out this area of resistance. So that's what you have over here. Where we had two rejections from the resistance level. So at the time, this was the all-time highs, and we made a brilliant move from that breakout up to as high as 500 pips, which fortunately for many of us we were able to take advantage of, right? So right now we seem to have reversed, so creating another double top, so similar to what we had over here. So I can only imagine that we slowly grinds to the upside, taking out this resistance level, which will lead to us having a good opportunity for a bullish trade opportunity. So right now the decision is to decide the point is to decide when we are going to get into this trade. We're currently sitting at an area of resistance, area of support, excuse me. And last week during the NFP, we had this massive rejection from these lows, right? I can't really remember if it was the NFP or I think it was interest rate or something, but something that has to do with fundamentals, right? Led to this massive move to the downside, and price was quickly bought up by the bulls, which sent price a little bit higher to the area of resistance. So right now we saw a massive decline to end the week, bringing price back down to this area of value. So two things are likely to gonna happen. We're likely going to see a reversal from these price levels back to this area of resistance, where we tend to get a consolidation before we get a bullish breakout. So this is my first case scenario to go long, waiting for a reversal back to this area of resistance and getting in immediately we break out. So don't mind these lines over here. I'm just going to get rid of these. These are alerts I set last week, so just going to get rid of these for now. Yeah, so this is my first case scenario. We get a bullish breakout from here, we go long, we stop loss underneath the consolidation that leads to the breakout. So this is the first case scenario for a bullish trade opportunity. Secondly, for those who want to get better trade opportunity, you may want to jump into a trade over here for a buy, right? But there's also a good chance we come lower, retesting this trend line before bouncing off higher. So this is something to pay attention to. I won't just rush into going long over here because we have enough room down here to bounce off. But the point is, we are currently being over sold, so there's a good chance price may likely not come down to this trend line. So just while you are paying attention to this trend line, there's also something I observed within a week. That's pulling off your 200 moving average and 200 SMA and EMA. That gives you a streamlined moving average that currently aligns with the current price levels, right? So what this means is this moving average could be acting as a very strong area of support, as you can see in the past. Excuse me. As you can see over the last few weeks, over here we bounced off this moving average. Over here we bounced off. So it has acted as a very solid area of support over the last few weeks, considering the solid bullish momentum we've experienced on gold, right? So in as much as we are being careful to wait to see price coming down into this trend line, which will give us good trade opportunities to go long, there's a good chance we may not see that happening because the moving average may simply just act as a support level holding price upwards. So that's something to pay attention to. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you for sure if this moving average is going to hold, but you can see from past price action, it has held quite nicely. But the difference now is we've deviated a little, from the trend line. You can see in previous weeks, the moving average aligns with the trend line, right? But right now you can see because of the rapid movement to the upside on gold, you can see the deviation from the trend line and the moving average. So right now, moving average is currently acting as a support level on a support area of value, which coincides with an oversold RSI. So there's a lot of confluence here to suggest that price is likely going to see some slight reversal from here going upwards, right? And that doesn't mean we should neglect the fact that this could be a consolidation over here leading to a breakout, testing the trend line before reverse to the upside, because moving average gets broken all the time. So that's something to pay attention to if you're going to be trading this. So if you're going to wait patiently to see if price hits this trend line, so waiting for the bounce of the trend line and getting in will be a very good opportunity to go long. Tighter risk to reward ratio, because then you have your stop loss underneath the bounce, right? And you have a wider range to take profit. So that's it briefly for gold. If you're unsure and don't want to take that risk, you could equally just wait for price to get to this area of resistance, consolidate, and then give you that bullish breakout to the upside. So that's the two bullish case scenario on gold. I don't think there's any reason to think, about going bearish right now, because gold is still bullish. So even if we do come into this trend line, I do think we're going to see a bounce to the upside, right? So either way, this is just something to pay attention to. Watch out for the moving average, watch out for the trend line. If you are going to go get in, pick your entry wisely, okay? So just for those who are skeptical about going short, you could wait for price to touch this trend line, consolidate a little, and then give you a proper breakout. This could be your best case scenario to go short, or you wait for price to get to this trend line, retest this area of value, and then reverse to the downside. This could be another conversion to go short. And lastly, the moving average could extend all the way to this price level. So I'm just giving you an example of an extrapolation of the moving average. If this happens, then you could watch out for a test or move to the downside, a retest of the moving average followed by a rejection. So if it rejects the moving average, that could also be another confirmation to go short. But we're not quite there yet, so that's why I don't want to dwell on that. So just in case something like this happens within a week, so that's something to pay attention to. And mind you, you have to wait for confirmations before jumping into this trade. So this is my outlook for gold for this week, and I think I'll be more bullish than bearish on gold. If you disagree with me, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Moving on, we'll be talking about Nasdaq. So Nasdaq US500 chart looks awesome. We talked about this last week, and then we had price around this price level, right? So I talked about the possibility of price consolidating and giving us that breakout to the upside, and that's exactly what happened. We also talked about the possibility of price consolidating, giving us a bearish breakout to the downside, but that was short-lived. And as I stated earlier, I was strictly bullish on Nasdaq, right? So we've consolidated, taking out this trend line. So if you take out this one, for example, you will notice the trend line we took out was a trend line that's dated back to December of last year, with several price rejections from this area of resistance. And you can see Friday we finally broke out. I think Thursday, Friday we finally broke out. Now we seem to be heading higher. So this alert here is where I'm setting my take profit for now. So first take profit target to take out some of my positions, which would be approximately 400 pips. I got in a little early after the breakout. So the reason why I added this area of value was to broaden the area at which I expected price to break out in case we're going to get a fake out, right? So just in case we move into this area of resistance and then get rejected. So if this happens without this green area of value, then this would simply turn out to be a fake out if you're just focusing on this trend line. So that's the reason why I added this area of value, and we seem to have escaped from this area of value clearly, but we are still around a good area of resistance, which is this one over here. So if we're able to get out from this one, then I think it's clear skies for us, because price would generally be in price discovery. So if you're not in yet, something to pay attention to will be waiting for a move to the downside, like form of a retest, before going long. There's no guarantee that this is going to happen, but there's a good chance it does happen. So if this happens, then this will be a very good opportunity to go long. Your entry would be after the breakout of the resistance level. Stop loss will be underneath the consolidation list of the breakout. Then you can trail your positions as we go higher, but there's no guarantee that this is going to happen. So that being said, I'm already in, so I wouldn't be waiting for this to get in. Probably if this happens followed by another breakout, then I'm going to add to my positions to go long. But other than that, I'm going to stick with what I have. This is simply for those who aren't in yet. I won't be talking about any bearish case scenario for this, because there's simply nothing bearish to see here for now, right? So this is what I'm watching out for to go long. Trend is still bullish, as you can tell, and we just broke out from this massive area of consolidation, which dates back to December of last year, right? So this I'm going to trade US100. So if this doesn't happen, then it's just too risky to jump in on a trade at the current price levels. If you do that, so let's say market opens, if it opens without a gap, of course, you want to jump in and trade them, that would simply be a bad idea, because you simply be entering a buy position at an area of resistance technically, right? Even though we've taken out this trend line, taken out this other major area of value, there's a good chance we still get rejected to the downside before going higher. But if you're impatient, you could test the waters with very little trade position, and your stop loss can be underneath these lows, right? So that will give you a tighter risk to reward ratio, because this will technically be 170 pips stop loss with a target of approximately 500 pips. So still 1 to 3 ratio of 1 to 3. So that still looks decent in my opinion. And if you feel this is just too risky for you, then just stay away from the market. Wait for my first case scenario, which is a potential reversal to the downside followed by a move to the upside, in which you could get a better trade opportunity to go long after a breakout. With your stop loss being placed underneath the consolidation list of the breakout, you get better risk to reward ratio like that. But even with this, there's no guarantee that this is going to happen, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, and that's my brief outlook for Nasdaq. Moving on, we're talking about US500. So US500 are similar to what we have on Nasdaq, just that this one is currently trading at a very good area of resistance, even though we took out this trend line, right? So we had a very good breakout on Friday, but that doesn't mean price is going to keep going higher. So this is a 4 hours chart, and just to zoom out real quick, zooming out, you can see it's a strong bullish trend, right, with some irregular chart pattern over here, but we trade the market as it evolves. So going on to the lower time frame, 2 hours time frame, for example, if you take a closer look at this, you would notice that we took out this area of value, right? Good breakout, good volume. Now we seem to be consolidating around the area of resistance. So your best bet to go long on this will be waiting. In fact, let me just go down to the 1 hour time frame, because that's probably the time frame in which we are going to take our entry. I'm already in on this trade. So a quick disclosure, right? So I'm already in on this trade. I got in probably around the breakouts, right? So for those who aren't in, I think you have a better opportunity to go in now with tighter risk to reward ratio, because you can simply just go in the moment we take out this area of resistance. If we take out this area of resistance right now, because we seem to be consolidating around our price level, the entry is going to be around here, all-time highs, breakouts. Stop loss is going to be underneath the consolidation list of the breakout, and you can set your take profit as high as 1,000 pips, because US500 moves like crazy. If you take a measured price movement from this top here to this bottom, you can see this is 2,000 pips price movement approximately, and that happened in what, 3 days. So there's a good chance you get 1,000 pips from this if you're able to get in on the trade, or if markets tends to work out as we expect. So 1,000 pips will be around these price levels. So you can see it's just short, and this can happen within days, right? So this is more than what you could be making, the amount of pips you could be making from trading currency pairs. You would probably have to take 10 trades in a particular currency pairs, 100 pips target to get 1,000 pips. Meanwhile, in US500, you can hit that target in 3 days, 2 days with just one trade, right? So that's the reason why I'm paying keen attention to this. And the moment we take out this area of resistance, I will probably even add to my positions, because we are definitely then going to be in price discovery, and there's no telling how high we go. So that's it briefly for US500. Likewise, I don't have any bearish case scenario for this at the moment, but you could take a trend line like this to act as a guide as to possible price levels to look for good trade opportunities. That's assuming we do grind up to the upside and then get some sort of pullback to the downside, so something like this. But that's not something to worry about for now, because as we make our weekly analysis, we're going to review this chart, and I'm going to try as much as possible to show you the new trade opportunities that the market presents us. So that's it briefly for US500. Once again, if you have questions, please leave those questions in the comment section down below. Lastly, we'll be talking about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is something I've been disturbed about for a very long time now. been asked to make a review on this chart. So this is the daily time frame on Bitcoin, and you can see it's been bullish since 2023, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Right now, it seems to be consolidating around $100,000. But the point is, there is no clear market structure to signify that we are going higher, other than the fact that we have a very good area of support, and there's a likely chance that we get into this area of support, we tend to see some bounce to the upside. But there's no clear market structure as to where to watch out for potential buy trade opportunity besides this area of support. So my advice would be, if you're trading Bitcoin, do nothing for now, because there's just nothing for you to do. The only way you get in on this trade is waiting to see if price gets into this area of support and then looking for buy trade opportunities to go higher. These are for those who intend to trade long term, so long term spot holdings, right? So even if you decide to trade on futures, Forex, CFD, and all that, you still want to wait for price to get into this area of support for you to look for longs, because this is not a market you want to short right now. Bitcoin is super solid, right? So there's no guarantee we get into this area of support. That's why we need more time to see what the market does in order for us to be able to decide how we are going to get into this trade, take advantage of this market. Other than that, all I can see is waiting for price to dip into this area of support, because you've seen solid price rejections at this area of value. Waiting for price to get there again, looking for those buy opportunities. So going on to the 4 hours time frame, for example, just to make my point clear, you can see that there is just nothing you can do right now with where the price is currently sitting, right? Even if you decide to take this trend line, for example, you pick these highs, which isn't a decent, pick in my opinion. Price is still way off this trend line for you to even decide to go long or go short. Price is just consolidating, ranging, deciding what's going to happen in the market, and that's not going to happen until you probably see price coming into this area of support, where we see if the bulls are strong enough to beat the price higher, or we see some more consolidations, right? Get to this trend line, consolidate more, and probably take out this trend line, consolidate more, and go higher. So for now, my point is there's nothing to do on Bitcoin if you are going to day trade it. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, so just to even be more specific, there's no clear area of resistance or support close to where the price is. I know some traders want to do this. You want to pick this top, right? You want to do this and say if price goes above this price level, then you want to go long. Well, that could work, but it's just not solid enough in my opinion, right? So that's the reason why I won't be doing this, but this is something to watch out for sure, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. So I say again, if you're trading Bitcoin, all you have to do is wait, right? Wait for price to get into this area of support at least, then look for opportunities to go long, or wait for price to give us a clearer market structure with a better sense of direction before you jump into these trades. So that's it for this week's analysis. If you love the content, please like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to respond to you as soon as I can. If you disagree with me, also let me know why. If you're bullish on gold or bearish on gold, let me know why. I could pick a thing or two from your ideas. And pay attention to this moving average we have on gold. Very, very important. So there's a good chance we bounced off of this moving average going higher. There's a good chance we break the moving average coming to this trend line to go higher. So the two best case scenario, two best decision you could make is waiting. If it comes here, reverses, gives you a good confirmation of continuation, you go in. Or if you're not sure, you just want to be patient, the surest bet again will be waiting for price to get to this area of resistance, consolidate, and then give you a bullish breakout to the upside. So this would be a good trade opportunity irrespective of what price does at the bottom of these price levels. So it's a game of patience, and I implore you to be patient with gold as you find out what the markets decide, right? So that's it for this week's analysis. See you next week.